Uh,
And these are the days of our lives.
once I actually hear the music coming through, this is
I know, this time I
This
can
is
hear
great.
it.
I like it.
Very, very exciting.
Quite epic.
I do. I feel like
Love
we're
it.
going into battle right now.
Well, we're close to it.
We are. We got our battalions.
Yeah, we do.
I'm wondering if, like, maybe this guy's pissed off because he wasn't buried with his stuff. Maybe all of these little relics we keep running into in the dream realm, those
Yeah,
things
or
that
like
belong to
kids.
him.
Yeah.
Could be.
Or maybe there's things we need to fight him. I don't know.
Could be.
But we should be pursuing these things.
Well,
All I know is I want to get somebody's little figurine and break an arm and see what happens.
You would.
But Lou won't let me. Lou was telling me that I'm what you call a wild card player.
yeah, he showed
Yeah.
us that.
What?
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
there?
Shocking. But I
No,
also
but
have
it's-
some inventor in me, as you can see from my hair.
You know what though, Stevenson? It's a really good archetype to play when you're testing a new game because you
Mhm.
got to see what's broken.
Yep.
Yeah, it's true. I just
Well, you-
do. I do test everything out.
You keep things interesting, that's for sure. So
I know I drive you crazy. That's what wild cards do.
it's the fun part.
What you're
of it.
supposed to do.
It is. I can't change. I'm too old. All right, the music's over.
Yes, the music's over, and we're back, everybody. This is part 5 of Fury of the Forsaken on Kickstarter now. And
Say that 3 times fast.
this is Fury of the Forsaken Part 5 on Kickstarter now. Fury of the Forsaken Part 5 on Kickstarter now. Fury of the Forsaken Part 5 on Kickstarter now.
I knew he was going to do it. I knew he couldn't let it go. I knew he was going to have to do it.
It's a brainworm,
It is it a brainworm? I don't think so. You know what's a brainworm?
an earworm.
No. And I
Earworm.
feel it. Tragically, Jill Sabul dying last week.
Yeah.
I saw her
Yeah.
open for Robin Hitchcock in 19. It was her first
Oh,
tour.
wow.
It was the I Kissed a Girl tour. So I think that was 95, 96. Bought the CD from her. Love it. I can't get that song out of my head now. I
it's a
like
good song.
yeah, but I like waking up at 3 a.m. and I'm going, Jenny came over and told me about Brad, and I just can't get it. I can't get it out of my head. I can't get it out of my head at all.
Wow. This is not what I expected in gameplay today.
No, but anyway, I didn't expect you to be driving a car.
What do you mean? I wear this belt at home because it keeps me in my seat.
Right. Well, your green
this
screen.
is just a virtual back. My green screen is the car.
Yeah. It's like that scene in The Matrix. I used to have
Yeah.
noodle soup there. So we are back, and I don't know if we'll get to the epic battle conclusion, but I want to give shouts out to Hal at Shard, who worked all day to get the battle units ready for us. So I hope we get to use one of them tonight. And I'll say up front, we're not on next week. We're taking a break next week, and we'll be back the week after that. And Mark says hello. Good evening, Mark.
Hello.
Hi, Mark.
Mark,
Disappeared.
Oh no.
Yeah.
where'd you go?
Where'd you
I
go?
don't
I'm
know.
here, but
Yeah,
Yeah.
my
you
Zoom, but
did.
just
Okay.
not on the.
We can't hear you. We can't hear
Yeah,
you.
I
Are you there?
think no, we can hear him. He just disappeared. But I think that I'm going to worry about that later.
No, I was
Yeah.
going to pretend that we couldn't hear him because I knew we'd drive him nuts.
you
And I'll
can't
take you over
see
here.
me.
So we're using Ecamm Live software, and the one thing I don't like about it is that when somebody chats in the chat window and I throw it up on screen, it adds it to my list of overlays, and I have to manually delete it, and my trigger finger is too fast, and I delete it and the next thing in the list, which happened to be Future Ghostly.
You deleted me.
Yeah, I deleted you. So when we go back to this screen, I'm going to have to build a new window. But we're not on that screen now. We're on this screen. And split it long. So you guys woke up after an uneventful night, having
Yeah,
defeated 3 forms of the Vittergalken, in which I hope was an eerie, creepy dream sequence. And it is the last
It was.
morning before the battle that evening. So you have one day to do any final plans. You've managed to recruit all you can recruit. So you have the original band of 1 experienced warriors. You have recruited an additional 8 levies from the townsfolk and trained them all. And Brunhild managed to befriend the grizzled old warriors sitting around singing tales in the mead hall. So you have a very powerful, if undisciplined, band of grizzled old warriors for a total of 10 units. Now,
Nice.
today you can. We had said originally, I'm going to make this is a playtest as well as a game, and I originally had it written that if you save the storehouse from burning, you got enough spears to equip 4 of the 10 units. That's stupid. If you save the warehouse, you should have enough spears for everybody. Let's not try to remember who
Yeah,
has.
because we saved the warehouse.
It's not like a spear is that much more
I mean,
powerful than a sword.
Maytalk is likely to have an entire unit killed at one point.
I know.
Anyway, so let's at least have them armed when they die.
I'm going to make the change that, if you save the warehouse, you have spears. If you don't save the warehouse, you don't have spears. It's a binary choice, easy for GMs to remember. We don't have to go,
Nice.
oh, did you pick a unit with spears or did Gertrude have the unit with the spears? If you're going to set any traps, you can do that.
Yeah, let's set traps.
And we need to figure out where we're going to position people and how we're going to get information back and forth. And so you can command a unit within 120 feet of you. Further than that, you have to send a runner. So
Can I build a trap where we like cut a hole in the dock in the pier, and then we lead them over it, and then they fall, and we have a bunch of the spears set up to spike them as they fall into it?
you can attempt to do that.
I want to do that. I'm
I
handy.
like Frody's flag idea. We need to have a flag system set up, like the flag versions of the Gondor.
Well, that's a good idea.
You know,
It's a really good idea.
the whole flag system. That way, we don't need runners. If they get away, we have one designated person who's painted to the flags.
And we could
Yeah.
station that on top of the mead hall, so we can
Well,
signal
I'm
the
thinking
flags.
more than one. Like we do the mead hall, we do on top of the Jarl house, and one on top of the temple. So
That's
we've
a
got
good
like
idea.
3. Then they can communicate with each other and the groups.
Yeah, I mean
Yeah.
the biggest thing, my intention behind it was that if each one has a runner, the runner just needs to be able to pay attention to the flag. So if their flag goes up and then it points over here, that might mean that their group is to move over there.
Yeah.
If the flag isn't up, then they just stay put.
Smart.
Or something to
That sounds good.
Basically, we just need to know, should they stay put? Should they go somewhere else?
You can also.
Yeah, I mean it doesn't need to be like full on semaphore. You can have like 4 or 5 basic signal flags.
Yeah, just a one color per command.
Rally here or rally at point 2, rally at point 3.
Yeah.
You don't need
Well,
a ton
but
of
this
complexity.
way, what if we've got, let's say we've got a group stationed at the temple. We have a group stationed maybe we have a group at the one side of the piers on the east side, and then on the southern side, and then one at the trebuchet, and then we've got a central group to just decided for reinforcements, and then on the off chance we get attacked by land, we have a group there. But then we find that none of the forces are getting attacked on the north side. Then we can tell the side to reinforce one of
That's
the
true.
other.
Where should
We
we
need
put the pit?
The pit.
Well, I could imagine how high is the docks? If somebody were to pull a ship alongside, could they just board anywhere, or do they need a dock that's?
If you pull a ship alongside, you can board. If you fall in the water and have to scramble up, you have to make a climb roll against the icy docks. The bad guys do not have to make that climb roll, but it will take them a turn to climb.
Good climb. What
So
about where should we build? If I do a 20 by 20 foot pit, trapdoors that we can then have a lever, and then once people they're standing over it, we can pull it, and they drop down into spikes, or what am I talking about? The
You're talking
So-
about
couldn't get it out of my mouth,
spikes.
and they fall into the spears. Then where should we put it?
So probably east of the Jarl's Longhouse, between the docks and the Longhouse, which is the most likely landing zone.
Well,
Yeah.
if you
Maybe
look
we
at the
build
map,
a second one between the
there,
land.
there isn't much between the longhouse and the dock.
Mhm.
How much of that are we looking at is frozen, or is none of the water frozen?
Um, fjords don't actually ice that much. The water
Earlier,
is
you were saying that the
it's a-
water
yeah.
was frozen
Yeah,
over, and
it's-
that's
So-
why.
Yeah.
This is my idea.
so there are ice
Um,
flows near the town, and then out to sea, it's frozen.
Okay.
What's
So-
your idea?
So my idea is we can section this off. It's too much. We don't want to sacrifice a part of the city per se.
Yeah.
But what we can do is the connecting bridges. We can rig them to be temporarily passable and then not passable. So
yeah.
we could pull up planks so they're not passable, and then do a makeshift bridge that we can cut away. And
Well,
then
that's a
what
good
that
idea.
allows us to do is, if they cannot cross via the bridge, they have to climb up the piers, which allows us to bottleneck and attack them from like a castle
Yeah.
wall, as opposed to on even ground.
Mm-hmm.
So let's say they attack from the temple side, and the temple side has to retreat. They can drop the bridge, and we can make a stand in the market.
Mm-hmm.
If they come from what I assume is housing on the northeast, we've got 3 bridges where we could collapse if we need to. And basically what we're doing is we're creating a tighter defensive circle, which centers around the market, the longhouse, and the meat hall.
We need to designate a medical area too for any wounded, so we can make sure they're taken back and taken care of.
I'd say the market is probably a place for that.
Either
But
market or
it's
meat
not
hall.
protected by the anti
The stone.
stone.
Yeah.
Only
Let
the
me-
temple, the longhouse, and the mead hall are protected.
Let me ask you a question, because I like your strategy, Frody, but my one question is, if let's say, for example, I'm in the beginning of the battle, I'm in control of my units in the temple district,
Mm-hmm.
and we're getting overrun. Are we leaving the temple? Are we giving it up for lost, even if it has one of the protective stones in it?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Well, they're
And
not
fall
going to be able
back.
to get into that area, so the temple would be a fallback position.
You could.
Yeah, I guess it
um,
kind of depends on where they're going to be entering the town from, and we can't predict that. So
the point is that it provides options.
yeah,
Where otherwise we would not have them. So let's say the temple is where the main assault's happening. Well, then we would reinforce you. But let's say where our forces are divided, we may have to choose to give something up. Now, having the bridges as cutaways gives us the option to give something up, rather than it just being giving up ground. We're actually consolidating our forces to a tighter defensive circle.
yeah, got it. I can dig it.
Do I still
So
get
that
to
way
build
we
my
can-
pits?
That way we can use our numbers.
I don't know that we're gonna have time to build
Leverage.
your pits. I think that's like a week's worth of.
What about a
Effort.
break? What about a breakaway pier?
Well,
So the
If-
bridges would be the way to
Well,
go.
if we're turning- if we're
we
turning
pulled
the
up
bridges
planks,
Into
Yeah.
cuttable.
what we
Okay.
could do is take some spears. I don't know how deep the water is underneath the city. I can't imagine deep if there's piers. But maybe you could lodge some pikes underneath
The
where
breakaway.
the bridge.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
I
That sounds good.
I picture that scene from like Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom,
Yeah.
where
Yes.
they cut the rope, and it's like so awesome. Although,
What about if we lure them someplace where we can blow up with some of the whale oil?
Well,
in
one
it?
of the things we could do is keep a barrel of oil at each bridge, so when we break it away, we could also kick over the barrel of oil
True.
and light it on
and create
fire.
a fire trap.
Let's do it. That's a
Yeah.
great idea. Let's do it.
yeah, let's spend our last day setting all those up. So we've got 1,
Yes.
2, 3, 4, 5,
And
6.
the
at least
trebuchet.
6
Did
key
we fix
bridges.
the trebuchet?
We want to move
Yes.
some barrels of oil to
Yeah.
the trebuchet.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if necessary, I could take owl form and drop oils I could drop barrels of oil or
Yes.
drop
Yeah.
torches onto
That's
the
a-
oil.
That's a good idea. Now,
That's a good
Frody,
idea, too.
let me ask you this, because the trebuchet cannot be moved, right?
No.
The trebuchet cannot be moved.
Should we not make that one bridge a collapsible bridge? Because if anybody who's manning the trebuchet gets overwhelmed, they could get stuck out there. It's like a little island almost.
It's tough.
I
It's
think
tough. They'll
that's
get
our
them-
that
well-
storage area could be our medical backup since it's got a stone.
That's true, but we could also put a small boat there in case they need to get
Oh,
away.
a boat maybe could be.
Well,
Yeah.
I think the idea is the trebuchet is only useful against a ship. If
Yeah.
they've already boarded and they're entering the city, the trebuchet doesn't matter as much because we're not going to fire a trebuchet on our own.
That's
Mhm.
true. That's so that
It-
person
it
can get away by
is
then.
something we would sacrifice after.
So
the
we could
initial
plan on
battle.
having it be abandonable.
Yeah, and the breakaway
yeah.
thing. Yeah.
Got
And
it.
we should have a plan to sabotage it. So we should have a spare barrel of oil there. So if we
So
have
we
to
can
give
burn
it
it
up,
on
it
it
can't
as
be
we
used
yeah.
against
so it can't
us.
be used against us. That's a great idea. That's a great idea.
Okay.
I wonder if we should set up any dummies of at all just to make it look like we have more numbers than we have.
It's not a bad idea.
Straw men.
Strawmen.
It's a good argument.
Straw man an area that is. I mean, like the temple area, since we got a stone there, we could build
Yeah.
that up to look like there's a big army there.
Yeah, let's do it.
We could put just like silhouettes of people up on the roofs of houses
Yeah.
Yep.
and make it look like they've got a bow or a spear.
Yeah.
You know, it could
Mhm.
just be a stick as long as it makes
Well-
a silhouette.
How much time do we have?
I mean, they
Right.
can work overnight. Some people, though.
And we
Nope.
don't want them to be tired. Then we'll make them tired the
Well,
next day.
I don't know what the advantage is of having dummies.
Right,
Because
because
they're
do
not going to be
Draugr,
scared anyway.
do they even understand?
Numbers. No,
Well,
they don't.
even if they,
Maybe.
well, maybe they just don't care about numbers, or they wouldn't change.
The
their
only
behaviors
reason to
because of
have them is
numbers.
if we can get them to go to attack a group that's not
That's
real.
what I was thinking.
and,
like,
and then cut the bridge away.
yeah.
Or come at them from behind, whatever advantage we could get. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sneak attack. Maytalk
Yeah.
is good at that.
Sneak attack is good too. Yeah, let's do it. Let's build them not to
No.
scare them, but to draw
What we
them
could
in.
do, what we could do is take a ship out to draw their attention, and maybe if they have a force coming from water, we can choose where they're going to attack by pretending to meet them halfway,
Right.
and then
Why don't we
maybe-
send out a fake ship? Why don't we send
Oh,
out a
like
ship
the
full of
ship
whale
filled
oil.
with
with
explosives.
whale oil,
Yeah.
exactly, and then hit
Well-
it with
Water
a trebuchet,
Bay.
and then hit it with a
that's
trebuchet.
what I'm thinking. Maybe we can talk the Jarl into going with us on a ship loaded with oil, attract them all, and then I will go owl form and lift the Jarl out while he drops the torch, sends it
Done.
boom, and
Done.
then fight from there.
That's a great idea, and then we can
That's-
get a bunch of Draugr all at the beginning.
That's down and dirty. I love it.
I love it. Let's make
Two
it happen.
things real quick, just-
Luke, can we make that happen?
So I want to clarify one thing. Just you don't have another evening. You have the day, and the attack comes tonight. So you've got one
All
day,
right, so
a
can we get all
morning and
this
an
done in a
afternoon.
day?
Well, so setting a
I think
trap.
doing bridges, setting up
Yeah,
bridges to
bridges.
collapse,
Bridges priority
distributing
one.
Uh-oh.
the initial ploy.
Yeah.
And then I think the decoys, if there's time, that's fine. If not, that's the lowest priority.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
still don't understand how we can use the decoys to our advantage.
Yeah, decoys are a lower priority. I think let's just not do
Yeah.
the decoys. The ship is a better idea.
True.
And then
Agreed.
I would like to scout the land again, just to rule out us having a ground assault.
Yeah, I'm for that.
So
And
a ship to sacrifice, distribute the barrels, and rig the bridges.
and I think we should set a scout over by the land stuff who can warn us if they're coming to attack from that direction.
Well, I'm thinking I can take owl form and just really thoroughly scout the land. And if I don't see any forces, then I can just come back, get a short rest, get my form back, and then prepare.
Okay. Perfect. All right, let's make all that happen, Lou.
All right. So a couple things. Just so you know, Draugr are not zombies. They are intelligent.
Yeah.
Right.
Two, so setting a trap, either takes a DC 16 Wisdom Survival check or a DC 14 with Thieves' Tools.
Yeah, I have thieves tools.
All right.
So roll for me.
I have
All right,
construction
wait.
tools.
Well, we're not starting yet. I'm going to go through the things. The 10 housecarls are not going to fight as a unit. They're available to position around the town as runners, spotters, things like that.
Great.
You
Let's
also
get them to run the flag system.
Yeah.
All right. And you've got you also have, some NPCs. And the Jarl would like a briefing at midday.
All right.
I'll relay
Let's
the
do it.
plan to the Jarl.
Yeah. Let's brief him now.
And I'll try and
Well-
convince him to be part of the bait.
The Jarl would like a briefing at midday.
All
So
right,
he's
fine,
not
we'll do
he's
it
not
today.
he's not up yet first thing in the morning.
Yeah,
So we're
yeah.
gonna start putting this plan into place, and we'll brief him as we're doing it. We're not wasting half the day to wait for y'all.
Yeah, let's just get it going, and then we'll brief
Let's get
him.
it going.
We'll catch
Let's
him
get it
up
all
after.
going. Exactly. Exactly.
Now, if for some reason the Jarl won't be bait, I'll use my illusion wand to create illusion of the Jarl and his wife on the be one of you guys can mimic his voice.
I think we're gonna get attacked from the land too, guys. Just so you know.
Well, we'll find out.
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
but I've known Lou a long time, and it's just something he would do. Sorry.
Well, if we count the main bridge
Is
from
that
the land, it looks
metagaming?
like
Is that
there's
metagaming?
sets.
Is that metagaming?
It's metagaming, but I've known you for over 30 years. So
It looks
since
like
1991.
Well, we could also just tip a couple barrels of oil at the end of the bridge at the entrance.
Yeah,
Yeah.
let's do
So we
that.
could always
Let's do
light that if there's forces coming, just to hurry them.
Oh, there will be. There'll be a small force, but they'll be coming. It's or a
Okay,
medium-sized force.
It looks like we have 7 total major bridges to rig. Someone
Let's get rigging.
Someone needs to roll for Maytalk using Thieves' Tools.
Yep, but Maytalk can't do all 7 in the morning.
How many can he do in the first half of the day? 3?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Okay. And
All right.
what do we roll on that? Is it sleight of hand?
Well, with Thieves' Tools, it would be dexterity.
Yeah.
So not
is-
a specific skill, just a
Just dexterity, but
ability?
he can, but he's proficient in that.
Yeah.
So
with the-
because he has the
plus
correct
3 plus 2.
tool, the proficiency bonus applies. So
okay.
Yeah.
You need me to roll for you, Stevenson? Because you're in
Yes,
the car?
please.
All right.
Yep. I give you my
now,
rolling
now
power.
which bridges are we doing?
Let's
I think
start
we
with
want-
yeah, make a call, Frody, because it's your plan.
All right. So can I mark on the page?
Not
Maybe.
permanently, I don't think. Well,
Let me
Let's
see.
see. Do you have drawing tools?
I'm definitely seeing the little
Add
loops.
spell token.
I'm gonna do a spell token.
Well,
There you
I can draw. Where'd you
Line.
do?
You can do
Might be
rectangles with
Right.
spell tokens. So
Let me see.
Oh, it can't. It showed up. It is so tiny. I don't know where to find it. There we go.
Let me see. There. Where did you put it?
I don't know how to make it bigger. It's 5 foot.
Okay.
You gotta change it
Just-
when you're doing the spell.
All right.
Oh, why don't we just? I can just draw. I can draw. I
Okay.
can draw.
So we got this one right here.
yeah, I think Temple District
right.
Bridge is the most important.
Mhm.
Probably Trebuchet Bridge is second most.
Okay.
or-
Where?
So we're
Later
doing the
bridge.
4 bridges along the top. We have
All right. So
from left
where?
to right.
Like right there. Does that look good?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
All right. Let's zoom in for our audience. All right. So did Maytalk make his roll?
Well, I want to go with him and give him guidance first of all.
Maytalk can't
Okay.
because he's in the farm.
I can roll for him, so he
Okay.
+3, +2, and a D4. Well,
I'm giving you my rolling power.
yeah, and it's not going well
Using my luck.
so
but
far.
wait, how are we dividing this up? Shouldn't we be helping so he's got advantage?
But you're gonna want to do other things with your time.
Right, but there's only
That's
3
true.
things to accomplish, and there's 4 of us, 5 of us.
No, there's
All right.
more than that because it's 3 bridges in the morning, another 4 bridges in the afternoon, plus the ship. So it's
Yeah,
more
the
than
Uber should be
If we
preparing
did
the
pairs, so if we did pairs
true.
Yeah.
for the bridges,
Yeah, we
so
just
they
want to make
all
sure we
get
don't burn. We don't
advantage.
burn any bridges, you guys.
and then the rest
Never
could be
eat
on
pairs.
oil moving duty.
And
Or
you
burn
can
bridges.
you can get units to move oil.
Yeah, so we'll
Yes.
one of us can direct the units on where to send the oil, and then we can work in pairs to do the bridge.
Okay. I'll work with
that's
the,
all we're
the
doing.
units to get the oil moved. So
Yeah,
I'll help
and the
Maytalk with the bridge. With the
and we can
bridges.
ask what's the most. I don't know if the Jarl has a ship. If we need to use their ship to be more convincing.
The Jarl has a very nice ship. It's a Drakkar longship.
well, it's going to be
Uh-huh.
sacrificed. So
It's going to be a
Yeah.
sacrifice.
he's
We'll let him
asleep.
know at
He
our
won't know
noontime
any
meeting.
different until he's up.
That's
And
right.
it's like,
It's a-
dude, it's already done, man.
It's a sacrifice he's willing to make for the sake of his town.
He doesn't have
Yeah,
a
it's either
burner
that or
ship.
every-
Come on,
yeah.
the guy's not got a second ship.
There are other longships that are not Drakkar. Drakkar are
use
the
those.
I mean,
Yeah,
the
you gotta
last
use
Jarl
those.
we saw had 4 ships, and he wasn't
Right,
even
you-
near the water.
To sell this, guys, he needs to use his good ship.
Hey, I'm not involved in that part, but so
That's a
You
conversation
know what?
for
Take
lunchtime.
it,
We're not
spin
gonna
it,
tell
make
him
him
about
sound
the burning.
really good.
We're not going to tell him about the burning part. All right, we're just going to borrow. it.
Brody's job to convince it. I'm
Just-
totally fine.
We're just borrowing it, guys. We're just
yeah.
borrowing it.
I mean, the guy can turn into an owl, so he's like probably going to be able to convince anyone of anything.
Yeah, I'm confident. We'll
Go with
be
it.
fine.
Go with it. But
Yeah.
Luke, can I like stand on the bridge and hand thieves' tools to Maytalk to give him advantage?
Yeah,
And
you
bring
can
him
help.
over?
You can help with the task. You can help with the
Okay.
task.
All right. So here's advantage.
Oh, I already clicked it.
That's fine. What are we needing to
16, 14,
Okay.
14, 14.
Well, you got a
Okay.
14.
All
and then
right.
you got a D4 on top of that.
pass?
Okay,
Success
so
on the temple bridge.
excellent.
Good.
Temple Bridge. Excellent. Okay.
Now, Brody, I want you to make the call because it was your plan. Do you want us to go to housing next rather than the?
I think we have time to just hit them all.
Yeah, let's hit them all.
So
That's
we've
fair. I just
got-
feel like housing has 3 bridges to hit, and yeah,
Well, I
I guess
mean,
it doesn't really
it doesn't matter what we
statistically.
prioritize.
Yeah,
We could still fail the roll.
True.
Let's just so we got the next 3 to the housing.
so let's go here.
All right.
Okay, so here comes Maytalk's thieves tool roll.
Whoops.
So he's got an 11, but his proficiency brings that up to a 13, and with guidance, he's automatically going to hit a 14.
Yep.
So that one passes.
All right.
And
Yeah.
now we're at the longer bridge between housing and the kind of city center.
All right. Let's see. Wait a minute. It's not letting me draw. Why is it not letting me draw? Come on, buddy. It's sticky.
Feel good about this plan.
It's a solid plan.
Yeah.
What we need to do is it's like in The Last of Us when you have to channel all the dead
hmm
so you could just torch them. Or make them drop onto spears, whatever. You know,
All right.
trebuchet them with dead heads of dead pigs' heads. You know, whatever's going on.
For some reason, the drawing tool is not working for me.
Okay, well we could
There we
just
go,
theater
there we
of the
go.
mind. We know these first
No,
two.
I
are
got it. I
passed.
got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Okay, cool.
Sweet.
It looks like it also erased the.
Yeah, I had to go back. for it.
Gandalf helped with the second bridge.
All right. So what's the next bridge?
All right, so now this third one here,
All righty.
the longest one between housing and kind of like the Jarl's
Yep,
area.
yep.
So new Maytalk roll. 15 passes
Nice.
automatically.
All right.
Then there's this third bridge, which is this kind of wonky dogleg left
But
bridge.
that would be the afternoon because that's 3 bridges. That's 3
Oh
bridges.
yeah,
So
fair
we need
enough.
to-
Okay,
we
so
need to catch up.
That's fine.
With our others, what are the other folks doing?
I was getting the folks to put stuff in the ship.
All right.
Oil.
So,
We're
all right.
loaded.
Yeah,
What's-
we're just directing units to spread the oil around. Trebuchet, the ship,
All right.
one at each bridge, and a couple at the foot of the bridge down here
All
at
right.
the entrance of the town. And we could probably just turn those over and just saturate the ground.
Ooh. Where are you saturated ground?
Not the bridge itself, but on the ground.
There's no ground. What do you mean?
Is that
Remember, we
ground
don't
at the end of that bridge?
We don't want to light everything on fire.
Oh, you gotta. I'm talking at the entrance to the town from land.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh, darn it. Okay, so
It's just if there is a ground assault, we can set the ground on fire to slow them down or deter
okay,
'em.
let's
Just
go
get
over
some
here.
kid there with a torch, and when he sees a red flag go up, he knows he's supposed to light it. So.
All right, so show me where you would like to set the oil.
Right there.
Right there. All right, so I'm
Yeah.
gonna switch us to a black color for oil,
Yeah, let's see.
and we'll just go yabba dabba 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 dabba, like that.
I like it.
Cool.
Isn't that pretty? Isn't that pretty?
Beautiful.
All right,
Gorgeous.
all right.
We're setting an oil barrel at each bridge,
Okay.
several in the ship to make it go boom, and then the
All
rest are trebuchet.
All right. Whew. You have 10 barrels.
Okay. So 10 left or 10 total.
10 total.
Well,
Okay.
7 bridges and 3 on the ship.
Well, I think we only have 6 bridges. I don't know where. We have the trebuchet. We have the one to the storage, the main one. We have the market and the 3 for housing.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm counting the one from the mainland as the 7th.
Oh yeah, I
Ah.
don't think we need to worry about that.
No.
That's
Especially
Fair.
having oil already out there on the.
Yeah, so
Grass.
6 for the town and 4 for the ship.
Mhm.
Then okay.
We wanted some for
But
the.
no,
trebuchet,
because
though.
you spilled the oil outside the town, so now you have 9
Right.
barrels.
right. So we're gonna
Mhm.
put one at each bridge for 6 total.
All
there.
right.
So that leaves us 3. Let's leave 1 by the trebuchet. And I don't know how much we need, but for the ship that we're going to use as bait, let's, I don't know, put 2, saturate it.
Yeah.
Whatever's left. Yeah.
All right. So you've got
And then
one
what
at the
we can
entrance,
do-
6.
For the trebuchet, we can just load, we can collect some rocks, I guess, or some.
Yeah.
We dip gourds in oil and flame them.
Wee.
I like it.
Lemon pumpkin.
And when they land, they'll be smashing pumpkins.
Uh,
Oh, Maytalk, you're just sad you didn't even think of that one.
That's a Maytalk joke right there.
pumpkins have not made it this far north yet.
I thought you were
No,
about to
um,
say haven't been invented.
We'll have to squash that rumor.
Well, ooh, I served that one up. Oh my gosh. Oh my
Yeah, you
god. Yeah. They're
Maybe we could
near.
just fill some empty barrels with rocks. We could just load some empty barrels with rocks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got 2 empty barrels we got 1 empty barrel already for pouring the oil. Okay.
Any of the empty barrels that we have station places should be uncorked at the top and have a pool of oil on the top of them, so that if we shoot an arrow at them that's flaming, it would blow them up.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. Do these explode or they burn? I don't know that the oil will
Yeah,
explode.
it doesn't explode, it burns, but it is a wooden town, so you don't save it by burning it down.
Yeah, let's be careful with that. That's
Yeah,
true.
let's not do that.
Yeah, let's be careful.
So the idea is, if we're going to kick a barrel over at the bridge, it's because we just knocked a bunch into water and we're trying to keep them below the surface of the water, or
Yeah, and
catch them as they come up.
we've hopefully rigged the bridges in such a way that they can be taken down and the oil will fall into the water and burn on top of the water,
Yeah.
not necessarily reach any wood because the bridge is now gone.
Well, and if it does
Or it's-
catch the piers, you know,
Yeah,
So what?
we'll deal with that.
We
We'll
should,
deal with
we should
that.
spend some. We should spend some time putting bags of dirt or sand together to put over in those areas, so we can use them to put out the fire if needed.
Not sure there's
All right.
enough prep time left for that, but definitely a good idea.
You've got people that can help. So
Let's
Yeah.
do it.
True.
Let's get the people to help.
all right, and why
Is
don't
there
we?
sand? Is there
There's
sand,
dirt.
and
There's-
can we
there's
fill
Probably too
canvas?
hard.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
there's
no
we
use
are
for it.
over an ocean. We could probably use water
Yep.
with the fire.
Water and
Crazy.
fire.
There,
Yep.
or I mean, are we
Yeah,
putting up 50-gallon barrels of water on the ends of bridges, or
the water won't work because it's oil.
I mean, it worked for the
Well,
storehouse.
The
It did.
water won't eliminate the oil,
But
but
it
what
will
it
drench
will
the
do
wood,
is
yeah.
drench the wood. And
Yes,
these are
that's a good
piers
point.
that are in the ocean. I don't think they're going to catch that easy.
Sure.
I think the buildings would catch easy, but I don't think the piers
Well,
would catch easy.
we'll just have to burn that bridge when we come to it.
Oh, it's terrible.
Yeah. So we've got units filling barrels with rocks for the trebuchet, and we've got the distribution of the barrels.
All right. Is that our morning?
That's our
I
morning.
believe so.
That's our morning. Yeah.
Then why don't we report in to the Jarl?
Oh wait, have I not had anything to do yet?
No.
I'm going to take the form of an owl,
All right.
Out the land.
and I'm going to scout the land, and I'm going to spend the entire morning doing that
Fine.
Okay.
Nobody gives a hoot.
with my owl eyes, my natural perception.
All right. Give me a
19.
perception roll. Give me a perception roll.
All right.
If you see any Draugr, hit him with some dookie.
You could
So I
also
have
give me
heightened hearing and sight, perception of 20 when perceiving by hearing or sight. But I'll roll. Oh, the roll's stupid.
Ooh. Everything
But
looks
there's natural
totally
ability.
totally clear. Really nice.
Well, what's the point of being a freaking owl if I got to roll anyway?
I could have given you guidance, but even that wouldn't help with 7.
All right.
Probably.
You're
not.
taking a luck point when you fail, right?
Yeah.
All right.
I guess we just don't even play with passive perception rules, huh?
What is your passive?
20.
Oh,
I rolled
Jesus.
beneath my passive.
All right. So you notice with your wonderful owl vision, there are footprints in last night's snowfall.
Okay.
Nothing's moving right now. Nothing is moving right now. But there are
Can
footprints
I
from in last
see
night's.
where those prints are and which direction they're going?
Yeah.
Because I've already scattered out the barrows.
Do you see the where the waterfalls, the twin waterfalls come down
Up
on
here?
either side of the bridge?
Okay. Yeah.
Here, I'll zoom out for our viewers, and there. So, yeah, the footprints come out of the water there.
Okay.
Okay, that's not a good sign.
Mm-mm.
Footprints coming out of the water. What's the terrain look like? Are these cliffs, or is it flat?
No, so fjords are pretty steep. They're not in places they're walkable, in other places they're climbable. Since the road comes down from the mountain pass here, the area immediately west of the bridge is walkable. You know, it's a slope, but it's not. You could drive a cart and a wagon up it.
Okay.
You can tell from the topographic lines, like the land to the south of the land bridge, it's not a cliff, but it's relatively steep.
Yeah.
Right.
But there's a farm
So-
up on it. You know, there's when you're in Norway,
Yeah.
you see these
It's
these
like a bluff
farmhouses
up there.
Yeah, yeah. There'll be a slope
So
and a
they've-
farmhouse on top, and another slope and a farmhouse on top of that.
So they've come from the water up the streams and
Yep,
onto the land, and I see
yep.
the
And
prints.
then walked around in front of the gate.
Okay. And then back. So
Yeah.
I could assume that they went back to the water. They're not stationed anywhere.
Correct.
Okay. Well, I'll relay that to the party, and we can decide what we're gonna do. And I want to take a short rest before talking to the Jarl.
Okay.
It sounds like we have evidence that the land bridge may be something that we need to be prepared to deal with.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah, so. But yeah, let's talk to the Jarl after Frody gets a little tea and chill.
All right. So Brody Tea and chill, and I'm gonna load up the Jarl's Longhouse. Let me go. The Jarl and his Longhouse. All right. And we need to figure out where the heck
Who's the most charismatic person here to help me?
the one who's in the pharmacy right now.
I could roll for Maytalk. What has he got? Let's see.
Yeah, roll for me. Roll for
I
me.
can go back.
He might need to stay focused on the bridges. For the
Well,
afternoon.
We can't really do it. This is midday, so it's not.
We're just having a little interlude
Is it-
midday, aren't we?
Is this like a midday intermission between what we're doing, or
Yes,
is this
yes.
count as the second part of the day? Okay.
This is what that is.
Maytalk's persuasion is pretty impressive if we need to persuade them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I can roll it if we're trying to talk him into
Ooh.
getting on the ship, I guess.
Where is
I
everybody else?
think I
Oh,
can
there they are.
convince him with logic, but Maytalk may need to put some charm on it.
Still an owl.
There's an owl in the log house.
Who's getting on the ship?
All right. And I don't know what happened to our elk hound. We need to add our elk hound back.
Oh yeah, and we need that guy to bite some Draugr here in a minute.
Yep.
So, I guess so. Do they have a map of the town? That we can
Yes.
demonstrate what we've done?
And let me add our elk hound to the party. Because we don't want to leave him out. Add monster. There, let's make him visible. Show and set as friend. Okay.
Yay, buddy.
So you come into the longhouse, and the Jarl is drinking.
That's fine.
And
That's a normal day in Norngard.
so are his house girls. And he sees you and he says, "Ah, Dringer, what news of the defense of my town?"
You'd be very excited to learn that we have and an opportunity for you to be incredibly heroic indeed. Something for the sagas.
Heroic. His face clouds for a moment.
The beautiful part about this is it requires nothing of you but to stand proud.
Explain.
On a ship. So we want to take one of your ships to ride out and meet the Draugr. But the caveat is we're not going to fight them. We want to lure the Draugr onto your ship and then burn it down with it. But
And
we
what
need
ship?
you on the ship. Them. Well, of course, as the Jarl, it's up to you to choose. If you were brave enough to be there on person, it probably doesn't matter which ship. But if we had to pretend we're on the ship, it would probably have to be the Drakkar.
Burn my Drakkar. Do you know what that chip is worth?
It does. Well,
Is it-
that's why I suggest it's far better for you to lead from the front, be other ship, because the ship doesn't really matter as long as you're on it, that they're going to be attracted to. And then when they come to the ship, I will take the form of an owl, as you've no doubt seen me do, and I will lift you from the ship, and you may drop a torch on the, and then we'll bring you back to your house while we defend the town from what comes next.
And any Maytalk says any risk of loss of property must be weighed against the value of saving the town.
So he does not look happy about this. Someone who's not someone else, because Frody's been face to face with him. Give me a perception roll.
All right. Well.
Let me do that from my own character.
I got an 18.
Nice.
Okay. You see that Halif Hilder is kind of disgusted with him.
That's his wife?
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I just chime out and go, well, it is apparent that you care more about your physical things than the people of this town, or your wife for that matter, so I guess we should just leave and let you defend yourselves.
Aster's
Come
just
with
going to
me, my
straight up
friends. We're
shame
done
the
here.
Jarl. Oh my God. Okay.
All right. Make an intimidation roll. Oh boy.
It's a natural one.
Damn.
All right.
Maytalk
So
will assist on that. He's drunk and he's slurring his words about the honor of things, and so Aster can get hopefully an advantage on that.
Would never see that.
I'm not sure that's a valuable assist.
Okay, fair enough.
So the Jarl is very angry. He's like, I cannot believe you come into my longhouse and insult my honor. I
can't believe you would let people defend your city without helping.
I am coordinating from here.
Maytalk says,
You're coordinating that beverage in your hand.
Let's hold a beat.
You're not doing
let's have a
anything
drink.
other than drinking yourself into stupidity.
I get it
Now,
between the
either
two.
you help us or we leave.
Oh, there's that. See if that works.
What if could Maytalk offer a compromise saying we'll use your cheaper ship and an illusion of you?
Don't compromise with fools. Clearly, he's not a leader.
I pause Aster, saying that clearly we're not going to insult him into doing the right thing. All we need, if the Jarl would prefer to coordinate from here, perhaps Leaf would be able to join us on the ship to be convincing and sell that he is indeed on that ship. I can create some minor illusion, but the illusion will need some help. And luckily, we've already taken upon ourselves to load the Drakkar because we thought that might have been your answer.
So,
So now he wants the oil moved from the Drakkar to the cheaper ship.
So we're burning that damn ship.
So
No.
So
Tuck steps in. Can I have a second here?
Yes.
Can I have a second here?
Yeah,
I
go
said
ahead.
I take her all aside. I say there's going to be no burning of any ship. It's don't worry about it. We're going to bring it all back in one piece. We're just going to make them think that we're going to burn it and scare them all away. But don't worry, we'll bring it all back.
I believe that's a deception roll.
I believe so.
We're going to make
somebody make that.
Breckerheim great again.
Yep.
You guys are like... I'd prefer to take the moral high ground here.
Well, you got to play with the party, dude.
You're leaning into deception. You're leaning into deception and intimidation.
Listen, I would like to take a different tact here too, but like you got to play.
I think
So-
reason and courage will prevail.
Matthew, I think you gotta make the deception roll for Stevenson because Stevenson is still
Okay,
at
so
pharmacy.
I can, and can
Yep.
I give him guidance?
Yes.
Okay, he's got a 19
Oh.
without guidance.
Okay. So the Jarl is calm. Fleef Hilder comes and lays a hand on Astor's arm and says, "Good Master Elf, there's fire in your words, but come with me and quench it for a second in some mead."
All right.
And so she goes over with you. Where are you?
That's right there.
And pulls you over. We'll go over to this corner. She grabs some meat off the table and pulls you over in this corner. And she says, "Are you always so forceful?"
I have been in war before, and I've seen people killed for nothing other than a lord. And if this man will not defend his people, then why should we?
Pass
Is
there.
it true that you bought their loyalty with gold?
That was the only way.
Generous and forceful. I admire those qualities. It seems you are a leader. Have you ever thought of being a Jarl?
Oh boy.
Loaded question.
I have never considered such. But it's
Then I
not. Yeah, it's not beyond my interests.
Meditate on it. I feel the role might suit you.
Is she flirting?
I think
Well-
she's the power in this house.
You're not there. Astor can,
All right,
can
fair. That's metagaming.
Astor can
that's
try and
metagaming.
determine
I
what he thinks
apologize.
she's doing. Astor can determine what he thinks if Astor wants to look.
I'll roll a perception check to see what's
All right.
going on here.
I,
and don't
I
do
think
very
this is
well
an
so
insight
far.
roll. I think this is an insight roll.
Insight?
Not, not perception.
okay.
Let's mix up the
Keep
ability
in mind
scores
that
here.
Insight. Here we go. Still nothing.
Ooh, I hope you're adding luck for all these failed
I am.
rolls. All right. So, do you want to do anything with that, or just go with it?
I go. If your intentions are pure, I will consider what you speak.
I would like to kind of nosy on over and ask what he thinks about my proposition.
To the Jarl.
Mm-hmm.
So, you restate your proposition
wife?
is.
Oh no, I'm talking to the wife to leave.
Oh,
The wife. Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I thought.
so you're asking what
I
she
mean, I've yet
thinks.
to roll a persuasion. I don't know if we're kind of past that.
All right, we just lost Stevenson.
Yeah, I mean, if the
Uh,
Jarl's not on board with actually participating, then it should be. Then I want to ask her if she's going to participate in his stead. Or maybe I can wear his clothing and impersonate him.
Thought we had an illusion.
Well, the illusion is there's no replacement for something more convincing.
If you wear his clothes on the ship and then have to turn into an eagle, you have to drop the clothes, right?
Well, I don't care about the clothes.
But
No,
he
the clothes
might.
would change with me.
I'm sure he's got other clothes you can just take.
I don't know. He seems kind of materialistic, but it's fine. We can ask.
Yeah, there's the making of a Draugr in that one.
So, she says, I cannot go on the water. It's clear that this creature has great enmity for the town for some reason. And as the wife of the Jarl, I would be too big a target, even with
That's-
such brave warriors to defend me.
Well, that's the point. We wouldn't defend you. We would lift you out and return you, leaving the ship in the water with the Draugr on or near it.
To burn and die.
The risk is not worth the reward for me.
Okay.
Well, then, could we borrow some of his clothing so that we may impersonate him on the ship?
Yes, come with me.
Okay, we'll do that.
So she leads you. Dun, da, 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 da,
She
into-
specifically said she can't go on the water.
So she
Yeah, I
leads
caught
you
that too. That was suspect.
into the bedchamber.
Okay.
Y'all
Okay.
follow.
I would
y'all-
like, I would like somebody to join me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah, yeah.
Some weird
following you.
rumor. Some
Okay.
funky stuff going around here.
Yeah.
All right. Follow.
As a woman, I will represent the fairer race, the fairer sex. What do you call it without being sexist?
Always take a partner. I get it. It's HR situation. Yeah.
Okay.
System.
We lost Maytalk.
Yeah.
He'll be back. He'll be back.
He'll be back.
So
I can handle his role for now.
This room is dominated by a large fur-covered bed. The chamber is sweet-smelling and richly decorated. 2 very large furs adorn the floor, and a trio of hefty rugs hang from the walls. You see more of the meadow suite has been scattered around.
All right, I shut the door, and as soon as we get in, I look at her and go, "We are all alone here. Why is your husband a coward?"
Damn.
He is not a coward. He is comfortable and untested.
Then
Give me-
how
give
is
me-
it
give me-
that he is
give-
the Jarl?
Because he defeated his father in honorable combat. Give me a insight roll again.
Okay. I'm re-rolling that because I have.
Can I roll inside? I'm in the room.
Sure.
All right. I
I
got
have
an 18.
11.
So her voice stutters on the word honorable.
How is someone untested defeating someone who was tested in honorable combat?
Are you asking that or asking me?
I'm asking that.
The old Jarl was not in his right mind. You have heard doubtless the stories. He was sinking into a madness.
Okay.
I think Ivar sought to give him an honorable death before he embarrassed himself further after he desecrated the grave isle.
Okay. I want to ask the Jarl's wife, woman to woman. The town is in serious danger, and we've put a lot of work into preparing a defense. Are we going to have a problem with your husband causing lack of commitment to our plan, lack of commitment to the defense of the town? Do we need to take action to perhaps remove him from the equation?
So she almost smiles at that. And she says, he will be harmless here.
Okay. So maybe, speaking to my friends, maybe what we need to do is come up with a ploy to remove him from the situation and take control of the ship and the illusion and the clothing and deal with our plan in such a way that he can't foul it up because he's not so much an asset but a liability. What do we think here?
I think we need to rely on his wife to take him out of the room while we gather the rest of these people to take care of what we came here to take care of.
Give him more to drink until he passes out.
Excellent. Excellent option. Do any of us have, could I say, Brunhilde, with my medical knowledge, that could mix with a ale or a mead that would put a man to sleep quickly?
That feels like It feels deceitful, uncomfortable. Doesn't
Dishonorable.
rest well with me.
Well,
Okay.
he's not very honorable either.
We have
my husband is
I
a
can
formidable.
stick him with the end of my sword and with it too.
My husband is a formidable warrior when he
we don't
needs to
want
be.
to fight him. We don't want to fight him. We just want to remove him from the equation if he's going to make it harder for us to save your town.
We want to knock him out.
He will not. He will stay here.
Unless
I think we should pursue the path that restores his honor.
okay, so if his wife will convince him to stay in the longhouse and think that he's in charge of everything, we can handle the ship with the clothing and try to make our best.
In his defense, he hasn't claimed to be in charge of anything. He set us to do that, and he's yet to interfere so far. So why don't we just say part of our plan is that he defends this longhouse? This is a fallback center. Make that part of his mission, and he can still retain his honor and even gain it if he chooses so in the battle to come. And my plan with them and the ship is irrelevant. It's just a deception for the enemy, one that does not have to demean the Jarl.
Brody, I understand what you're doing, and I will defer your better judgment. But if he gets in our way, I've seen better men than him come and go.
We can no longer be responsible for his decisions.
Okay.
Very well. So
I'm willing to move on.
She goes to the bed and she takes out a set of the Jarl's clothes and give them to you.
Is there anything that I should do? I'm asking her, anything that I should do that would sell this deception? Something that's specific about him that if this is his father would pick up on or know it to be him? Is it a certain phrase, a specific sword or axe or shield or something that I could help sell this?
So that's an interesting question. My husband is often aloof and distant, given to childish outbursts. But he has a shrewd eye, and he walks with a limp.
Okay.
An
Look at her,
injury
yes.
from his father.
So I would like to observe the Jarl and kind of imitate that in some practice.
Okay.
And I ask her, I was like, and in your observed opinion, why do you think these Draugr are so interested in destroying this town?
So she thinks about that for a minute, and she says, because Draugr are greedy, evil beings who hate all living things. And you can give me another perception or insight roll if you want.
Yeah. Oh, 23.
All right, she's fucking lying.
Yeah, and 22.
Yeah, she's completely dishonest with that answer.
I just kind of like, I see. The companions don't fall far from one another. And I leave the room.
I'm not going to leave. In fact, now I'm feeling the fire.
I'm just,
Like-
if I don't extract myself, I'm going to stab
Oh, dear.
I'm just going to say, whatever it is you're hiding, it must be worth dying over. And losing the
And
town
your
with it.
entire village. Yeah.
Yeah. It must be a heavy burden to carry the secret all on your own, knowing what it might cost. Perhaps you'd like to
am a
unburden
vulva.
yourself.
I am a daughter of the forest. I carry many, many secrets.
Passes, and you with it, you would say it was worth it.
So she says, look, I was born the daughter of a wild woman deep in the Raven's Wood. I have rose through my own talents to be the wife of the Jarl of Freckerheim. There are other mountains to climb. There are other horizons to see. There are other heights to achieve.
All right. Well, Brunhilde says if your deceits and the Jarl's cost the lives of this town, may it be upon your conscience alone and not my own. And I walk out of the room.
Mm-hmm. Well, it's just Frody in there with her now.
This is what I didn't want.
Yep. So she says, neither of your companions have the stomach for hard conversation. Are you the
Well,
iron
perhaps
in your
now.
party?
Oh man, she is.
I'll say, what do you think?
All right. I will consider. And with that, she walks out of the room. And back to
Not
the
a lot of time left to consider anything,
No.
but okay.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know whether Stevenson's coming back.
I can play Maytog. I've got control, but
We know what we're doing for the afternoon anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. So give me a quick perception check around the room again. Just Brunhild, if you would.
I didn't get much of anything. Maytop got a good roll.
Right. Well, Maytok notices that the axe and the sword
The toys that we saw.
the toys that you saw. So suspended 15 feet above the fire pit, you'll recall there's an axe and a shield decorated with whale motifs. And that triggers you to remember the toys. So the toys in the cave seem to be carved in the likeness of the actual axe and shield hanging overhead.
okay. Something's rotten in Freckerheim.
Maytop would probably try to get them because that's who he is.
Well, they're 15 feet above the it's the.
It wouldn't stop Maytop. He would climb the roof.
He's definitely going to ask one of the party to throw him up there
Yeah.
and see if he can bring them down so he can examine them closer and then potentially confront the Jarl. What's up with these?
Oof.
Who can throw him? I've got enough
it's-
strength, I think.
So it's right above a flaming fire pit.
That's not going to stop Maytop.
It's true.
All right. This is what Stevenson gets for not being here.
All right. Can I do an athletics check to throw him into the rafters?
Sure.
It might be easier if I just turned into a grizzly bear and get them down.
True.
Are you tall enough? Is it tall enough?
I mean, you can
Luke?
turn
Oh,
into
yeah.
an owl and fly up there and knock him.
Wow. Well, there you go.
Well,
No,
as a
you
bear, I'm strong enough.
don't get another long rest before the battle. So if you need
I
to turn
only need a
it,
short rest for wild shape.
Interesting.
Well, let's throw him up there, and if we fail, then we can make other decisions.
Okay. give me
So- So I cast guidance on myself, and then I use my athletic skill to throw him into the ceiling.
okay. All right, roll athletics.
He would
Okay.
be proud of you right
If
now.
16 is good enough, I don't need the D4.
Right, you're at the ceiling.
So
Now-
Maytalk is hanging from the rafters.
Yes,
He's
now
got
he needs
one
to
hand.
to make a strength athletics check to dislodge the action shield.
Okay.
without
Well,
falling.
I transfer my guidance to him because it's a freaking cantrip, which is so awesome. So he's going to do an athletics. Whoa, wait. Oh, he's a rogue, isn't he?
Acrobatics.
He can't use acrobatics on this? You know that's reasonable, Lou. Come on.
It's very reasonable.
I'll take that. I'll take that.
Okay. What's he trying to hit?
15.
Ooh, okay. Oh, look at that.
All right.
Yes.
Matox has the axe and shield.
So he's like, he's got one hand on the rafter, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the axe and the shield down to, I don't know whoever, which one of us is ready to grab it.
Whoever.
And what, he like swings acrobatically off the rafter and tumbles onto the
Just
floor.
Acrobatic dwarf just flipping around.
So
I mean, all right. And so these items, they mirror the toys from the dream world so closely that we all notice it immediately. Yeah.
Yep.
Ooh. All right, guys, what are we going to do?
You also
about this?
notice because of that there's a cup on the table that also bears the whale motif.
Oh.
Are we going to say something? What do you guys think?
We're going to take them with us. They're weapons we need to fight with.
Okay.
So, the Jarl may be drinking, but he's not stupid. He says, "What have you done? Those were my father's."
I said, your father would have been proud to have them used in this battle to defend his town. Do you deny him an honor beyond death?
So the Jarl's face closed, but Hildolfr comes over and whispers to him, and he says, "Very well. Perhaps it will be of use to you."
Okay. It's a shield and a war axe?
Yes, they're just well, as far as y'all don't have any way to tell. It's a shield and a war axe.
So, but they have whale insignia on them.
Yeah.
Kind of?
Now, I mean, that is
And
the
cup,
we
too,
have-
so.
So we have a helmet, we have a shield, we have an axe, and a cup.
Yep.
Okay. Do I have detect magic?
I wonder if it's possible that the reason why he's so pissed off is because he doesn't have these things that he should have been buried with.
Mm-hmm. I think that's him.
You mean the dad is one of the Draugr?
I think the dad's the lead drogger.
Oh, maybe.
Well, remember the ship that I explored and found all the drug was
Mhm.
his burial ship.
Is he running the dream world too? Maybe.
My
One of the
theory's
things that
been-
we could attempt is I could take my seat out and go back down there and try to deliver those. See if that would change.
Not
the
a
course
bad
of things.
idea.
Oh my God, will that take up the whole
Or we could use them
afternoon?
in the fight, so we could decide whether we try to make this move to soften his ire.
You can take the afternoon and do that while we continue to prepare, just in case that fails.
Maytalk and Brunhilde can do 3 more bridges this afternoon. If Frody wants to,
I can finish prepping the boat.
yeah.
Is the helm that was Gertrude's father's helm?
Maytalk has it.
Well, I understand Maytalk had, but is that just a coincidence, or is this all part of a set?
It's got to be
Is
purpose. It's all got the whales.
So, what would Gertrude's relationship have been? Is she like a granddaughter of the old Jarl or something?
No.
I don't get the connection.
I don't know. Who
don't
wrote
think
the
there's a
Probably a
adventure?
gift or something.
Or maybe it's something.
Stevenson, you missed it. Maytalk
Did he
did some
inherit-
acrobatics and got some cool stuff.
Yeah, did he
No, I got
inherit the
really-
helm
I got really
after?
drunk with the Jarl? What happened? And then I blacked out. What happened?
Bro,
Uh,
I threw you up into the rafters.
Yeah.
And you did an athletic acrobatic move where you were hanging from the rafter and you took down a weapon and a shield from the rafters and you threw them down to us, and then you did a flip and landed on the floor like a total acrobat.
Wow. And have they like +1 shield and +1 sword?
They're
Well,
probably cursed, and we're trying to make sure that we can get them back to the.
Did,
Yeah, you
when
haven't-
I blacked out from drinking with the Jarl, did he agree to let us use his boat?
No.
he is
We
not
figured
yet.
it out. We
He has
figured
not,
it out.
he has not
We-
agreed to use the boat, but Hilder lent you clothing to disguise one of you as the Jarl,
Yeah, and we're using his
And-
boat anyways. But he. Yeah.
and
Sort of come to the determination that the Jarl is going to be next to useless in this whole
His
thing. So
wife's
we're
really-
kind of
his wife is really in charge. by the way.
and even also maybe not the best ally in the whole situation. So we're going to do a workaround where we defend the town for them anyway,
Good.
because we care about the lives of the people who are threatened.
Good. So what else
Right.
can we? I was passed out.
That's
Well,
it.
We're good.
Maytalk, if
We're
you-
about to send Frody as a
Yeah.
to the dead king.
Yeah, and then Maytalk, if you can come with me to the this afternoon, we can
Yeah,
we
do
can
that.
get those
Let's do
prepped.
that. Let's do-
We should talk to Gertrude's brother because I'm curious about the origin. Because there's no need to helm in this attempt if it's not part of the set.
Yeah.
If
Yep.
it didn't belong to the Jarl, so we just need to verify. And I
Okay.
guess the brother would know this, or would
Yeah,
Mhm.
well,
Yeah,
the-
he's
well, the-
here,
well,
number 6, right?
Yep, that's the brother. If y'all want to go talk to him.
Yeah, I want to ask him. I want to inquire about these items
All right, let's
and
go
their
over
original
there.
owner.
So, you're not there yet. If you will get up there.
There you go.
So Eriki is embarrassed by everything. You don't need a perception roll for that. He's extremely embarrassed by the behavior of the Jarl. He tells you this: the helm was my father's. It was a gift from Ivar's father. Before his madness took him, he was a great man, stern but fair, honorable but tough. It is a
You
shame
mean
what
this helm
happened
I'm
to him.
wearing?
Yes, it is a shame what happened to him, and it is a shame what his child has done with my town.
I would like to share a theory about the objects, and if that would drive, if he thinks it would drive, having known him in life, to want to reclaim them, if he wasn't buried with them.
So Eriki is he says, I am intrigued. I am not
Maybe we should
I am
talk
not
to the temple.
versed in Draugr. Yes, the temple. They would be good.
Let's go ask about the sagas. So before I make this journey, that's what I'm going to inquire about. Why they work on the bridges and stuff.
Okay. All right.
You know, I'm back in Shard too, guys.
Cool.
Yay.
Sweet.
Good.
Awesome.
Yay. All right. So shall we do bridges or shall we do temple?
Let's do bridges first.
Yeah, let's get it over with. It's pretty
Take a
easy.
little break
Yeah.
from the
Alright.
intense.
All right.
Tense social conversation.
I don't know what you're talking about. I just blacked out.
Yeah, well, that's a Maytalk. That's a Maytalk strategy. He
Oh,
copes.
I woke up like this.
All right.
Yeah,
Excellent.
that's my top strategy. Black
All
out.
right. All right. So let's do the remaining bridges.
Okay. What am I rolling? Dexterity?
Yep.
You
What
get
was
to add
it?
your proficiency bonus and with advantage because of help.
That doesn't help. I only got a 2.
Click advantage.
We're going to click advantage.
The green one.
I got a 9 total.
But
Oh,
2 and a
he's got
D4.
he's got +4, so if he only needs a 14, it's possible.
Yep. 9.
All right.
So he's got an 11 plus a D4.
So what do I
Roll,
have to?
roll a
Roll a
d4.
D4.
Roll a d4.
Where do I do that?
You
There's
see
a little dice.
the little dice at the bottom corner of that column? Click
It looks like a D. It looks like a D20, Stevenson, in the bottom right of the
It's
chat.
in the chat.
Bottom right of the chat.
There's a little
Next to the
dice.
Little
smiley
smiley
face.
face.
Oh yeah, I see it. It's like a little
All right.
dice thing.
Yeah, click on that and then select the d4 and then and hit roll.
You guys are awesome. Oh, no,
You're
I don't do
awesome.
that many times. No, it's like 8 times.
Hey, we've learned to speak, and it's all right, man. We
I
got you.
know. How do I?
Hey.
And it's D4 times 20, and now it's up to 30. I need to roll.
If you click the D4 just once,
All right.
96.
No. All right. Click the d4 once and then hit the button that says roll.
Yeah, I'm doing it.
Hit
my
d4 and hit
God.
roll.
You have a 50% chance. Oh,
Oh.
God.
Now,
What? How much
Do you have
luck
any
do you
luck?
have? Because if you have 2 luck
do have
points,
luck.
then you got it.
I have 3 luck. What do I do?
Just
Just
add
spend
2.
no, just
Spend
spend
it.
1 because
Yeah.
wait, you had a
Wait,
9 plus
10,
11 plus
12. He needs
yeah,
2.
spend 2.
It's
All
been
right.
Spend
2
2
luck.
and you got it. Yeah.
All right, I spent my luck.
All right. Which bridge was that?
That was
This one
this
here,
one.
the dog leg
That bridge.
left.
Okay.
Success.
Now we have this one by the trebuchets next.
All right. Why is it not? There we go. And then the one by the trebuchet.
Okay, Maytalk, roll again. Dexterity.
All right, here we go. Natural 20.
there we go.
Natty.
Yeah.
All right. I'll let that count for both bridges. So the
Oh,
trebuchet.
yes.
And what was the other one?
The bridge between
right here.
storage and the
And
main.
mead. All right. They are all trapped to blow. To go.
Nice.
Okay,
Excellent.
but that is both Maytalk and Brunhilde's
Yep.
afternoon
Yep.
It's over.
exercises or whatever you call it.
Yep.
All right. So Temple.
I'm gonna go to sleep.
All right. Temple. Dun, 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 dun. There's so many maps in this. There's just so many. Y'all haven't even seen all the battle maps for the battle. All right. Load the temple and huddle characters. Some of you aren't here. Maytalk is not there. And who's Brunhild is not there. All right, we'll just put you guys up in the top right now.
We're there in spirit.
Where'd you go? Where did Brunhild go?
Off the map.
Away.
Okay, cool.
All right.
So Rune is there. You see him comforting some people, and
we want
also
to share with Rune our, and if there's anything from the sagas or in his knowledge that could guide us, whether this is folly or
Fortune.
could work.
so Rune says this reminds me of a saga, the saga of, or maybe it was the or was it that saga? Several sagas. Would you like to hear them?
Just to the part about the Trugger and what motivates them.
So he considers for a moment, and let's see how wise he's feeling today. Pretty damn wise. All right.
Pretty
He
wise.
says, Draugr seethe with hatred for the living and resentment for the life that they have left behind. It is more likely that such symbols of their happy time would enrage and provoke them. It might even frighten them. But it will certainly unnerve them.
So do you think it would be better used in battle or as a sacrament?
I think if you were to confront the Draugr with his possessions in life, you might gain a momentary advantage
Okay.
as the pain of what he has lost overcomes him.
So then we should use this for a specific moment. So once we've spotted him, then we should wait to reveal this until we're ready to confront him directly. I don't see where we would have the advantage of unnerving them so early on before the battle, unless it's going to goad them into making a mistake. But we don't know how that could serve us.
Yeah.
So do we all want to take an element as we've joined together to fight him?
Not a bad plan.
I can use the shield. I don't think any of you use shields. Does Brunhild use the shield?
Yeah.
Well, maybe Brunhild should use the shield.
So
could.
I'm gonna
Maytag's
just
got
tell
the
you
helm.
I'm gonna tell you the mechanic here
Mhm.
is if you're attacking. I mean, if you're right about who it is, I'm not going to share this yet. These things are gonna play out in terms of advantage and disadvantage.
Okay.
So the axe will grant advantage, and the shield will grant disadvantage to an attacker
Okay.
if the attacker recognizes them.
Mhm.
Okay. Who here would you wield an axe?
I mean, I guess I could use that instead of my short sword, my offhand short sword. I use it as my offhand.
Well, the axe would give you advantage against the right target,
Yeah. Then I'll do that.
or maybe just save it until you see the right target and then
Yeah.
use it. Brunhild could use a shield. Maytok the helm.
I'll put
And
them in
then
our equipment treasure thing.
Mhm. And maybe I'll use the cup to take a drink from when I'm pretending to be the Jarl.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brunhild is not in the room in the temple, but
Mhm.
it would be good for a healer to have
Mm-hmm.
enemies have disadvantage on attacking them.
And what does the helm do? What did the helm do for Maytok?
I don't remember. Maytok, what does your helm do? The helm that you appropriated. Maytok.
He's
You're
here.
muted, Maytok.
Where
All
my
right,
audio
there
wasn't
you go.
working.
So the helm of the
What do you want to
Drangar.
know about my health?
No, the helm. It's a +1 to armor
What does
class.
it do?
It's a +1 to armor class and a +2
Yeah.
bonus to initiative if you aren't incapacitated.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, maybe I should go back to Gertrude, but that's up to her.
I'm drinking champagne, guys.
Yeah, because you celebrate. Celebrate a
Oh.
sale.
It sold the mountain, so we opened up a bottle of Dom Perignon that I've had in my fridge
Oh, that's
for
awesome.
5 years.
Am I keeping a week?
Congrats, brother.
I'm so excited you sold it.
All right, what's the axe called?
I
so
guess
can
that's
put it
not
in my
secret.
stuff?
The axe the axe and shield, they don't have, just call it an axe and a shield. They don't have special properties outside of the context of this
So
adventure.
is it a battle axe? Is it a...
Yeah, it's a battle axe.
Okay.
All right.
So the shield's not special in any way over my, or that gives
Well,
me
you
any
haven't actually spent any
bonus
time
over
tuning it to see, but no, it's just a shield, but it's an expensive one. So I mean, it'll function
Okay.
as a regular shield, and
Is your shield magical?
I just have a very basic shield. Is that new shield in the shared treasure?
No, just assume, just
I
add
think
a shield.
he's just saying it's a regular shield.
Yeah.
Okay, so now I have two shields.
Yep.
Got
I'm
it.
just gonna use the battle axe since it says a battle axe can be used with one or two hands. I'm gonna use that as my primary weapon, and then use my short sword as my secondary as follow-up attack. So
Cool.
There you go.
Sweet.
Sweet.
All right.
gonna walk around with a battle axe, swiping at people.
Wait, but I thought you said, Lou, that the shield gave disadvantage to attackers?
No,
When it owns it.
So if the owner of these weapons is attacked by one, the attack has advantage against them. And if the owner of these weapons is attacking someone bearing the shield, the owner has disadvantage on that attack.
So we're not going to be
In other
facing
words-
the owner.
I don't know.
Well, but not immediately. Or if there's 100 Draugr, 99 of them won't be the
Does
owner.
Maytak have
Correct.
some time to wrap his short bow, his crossbow arrows with some flammable, stuff, so that he can light them on fire and use it?
Well, crossbow bolts, I don't know. Can you light a crossbow bolt? Because they're not arrows. They're about, yay long and they're metal.
I don't know, but I have a short bow too, so I'll do that.
You can do the arrows in the short bow, yes.
All right, I'll do the arrows.
Yeah, I think it'd be okay to have some, lit
Flame
barrels
on.
or
Yeah.
something, or
Just want to prep.
I mean braziers or something with fire nearby. You could dip it in the oil barrel.
Okay.
And
Like 'em in, yeah.
So, let's return to our overview map because we're coming up on stopping time for the evening.
For any
And,
fans of Avatar: The Last Airbender, I would just say, Flameo Hotman.
All right.
the only thing that I'm
you-
concerned about is how are we going to move the Dragar ship if I'm the only one on it?
Yeah, you need a crew for that. So
Well, we can just dedicate one of the battle groups to.
Could I have my seal steed pull it?
Oh
no, the ship is huge.
Okay.
It's like
We'll have to have a
75,
crew. But the
80
crew-
feet long, so it
why
has
don't
to be
we
crewed.
take a small boat? Why don't we take a dinghy with us? And then once we have the whole thing set up in a position, they can take the dinghy back to.
yeah. Actually, just
That
take a
works.
boat
Let's do that.
out.
So maybe you guys help me row it out, and then we'll anchor it, and then
So send one of the battle group, the trained battle groups with you to take it out, and then
okay, that's fine.
yeah.
And then they
All
can just row back in
Yeah.
a boat. We'll have it
Yep.
anchored or slightly adrift. I don't know how the currents
Yeah.
are. And then I will use my wand of illusion to put some housecarls there.
Mhm.
I will be dressed as the Jarl, practicing the limp. I will have the cup of hand, the meat cup in one hand, and I will have a torch on the other.
Excellent. So, bum, 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 bum. Oh, also don't forget, y'all need to position the ballista.
I think we should do the ballista on the docks.
Trebuchet.
We got
All
the
right,
trebuchet
let's-
down here, so if we go one,
All right, we'll
6
do
of them, you
blue.
said?
Who's
Yep.
running the trebuchet?
Three ballista and one trebuchet. I
So
think.
why don't we put two
Six
trebuchet in
ballistas.
here?
No, you
Oh,
mean no,
six
no,
ballista.
you mean ballista. You have 6 ballista. So, like, we could put
Yeah,
a
so
ballista
what if we
here.
put
You're
one-
saying?
Sea facing at the, one outside the Jarl's Longhouse,
Okay.
or just so
Now
we have
the
two
ballista
there.
take half a
we
unit
can
to they take half a unit to man,
Okay,
and
so we can have one unit just on those two.
yeah. But you also need to do we
then
train
we could
units?
put
Do we train
one out
people to
here.
operate the ballista? Because you are supposed to train
We-
people to operate the ballista.
We did.
Yes.
Okay. How many did
We
you train?
accomplished that on day 2.
Right. Correct. Okay. Good.
Ooh.
So where? All right.
Enough
So
to
we got.
ban all 6. So,
Okay. So where's? But that will cut into the units.
So
I mean,
one
of course,
out
you know. Okay.
yes, but depending on the battle, we may be abandoning some of these ballistas and they'll regroup.
Correct. Correct. You may be regrouping
And
those
then
units.
maybe one over here.
Okay. Which of those 2 piers?
And then
That one. Okay.
the left one. Oh, yeah. Let's do one at the temple.
All right.
And I think we should put one right here, aiming right down this bridge.
All right.
Mm-hmm.
Very nice. So that will determine where some of your units have to be stationed. And you could split up the unit, but a half a unit's not much good. So
We still have 7 units, right? Because we had 10 units.
you have 10 units.
Yeah.
So
I think we
units
should put the
going with
grizzled
you.
warriors on the bridge. And then if we don't need them, then they can reinforce whoever needs help.
Yeah.
all right. Can someone write some of this down so that y'all have it?
Sure.
Take some.
Could we
authority.
do we have tokens? We can just throw them on this map. And use
Yes,
this
we
as our
do.
ride in?
We can. And let me zoom in. Whoops. Let me undo that because I did not mean to do that. So
I'll
we'll
take a
zoom up.
screenshot.
I have as
All right.
well.
Add monster. We're gonna add. So you have one Nornir company and 8 levies and the Grizzled Warband. So you're talking about putting who at the bridge?
The Grizzled Warband.
The Grizzled Warband at the bridge. All right, that
Yeah.
means Brunhilde
Wait.
will be stationed near the bridge. Are you sure?
At which bridge?
The
main
bridge,
one into the city.
main bridge.
Because if we get attacked by land, then we have a unit that's strong enough to hold that bridge.
Yeah.
If we don't get attacked by land, then we have a very strong unit to reinforce anywhere that's needed, and we'll have the flags to signal. So we'll blow a horn, which means look at the flags, and then the flags will move.
Okay.
All right. Doop.
Okay.
Look at
And
those
then-
guys. Look at them, ready to
Beautiful.
go.
Yeah. Yeah, they're
So the-
ready.
So we have the half unit operating the ballista plus them.
Yep. Oh, so you also have a half a unit. So in addition to the warband.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so let's add a.
What do we need for the trebuchet? Was that a half unit as well?
Yep. Let me add our levies. Doop. Look at our levies. Zooming out.
I see a grizzled warband.
Oh, the levies are they not? You should be able to see them too now.
I see him now.
Yep.
All right.
So
I think we should. So once we disperse, so that's 3 units for the ballista, a half unit for the trebuchet.
mhm.
Let's just put. Do we have? Can we split up a half unit and put them somewhere?
You can. It's just
we don't
they'll
need a whole
be.
unit there. Because loading half unit, I guess, is what I'm saying.
It's just that it'll take. They may not be able to reform. They won't be very powerful in a fight.
Okay. So why don't we put the half unit that goes to the trebuchet at the storage?
Okay.
So that they're like right there.
So we could have the half unit for the trebuchet and the half unit for that ballista be the same unit.
Right. Okay. So let me add that monster.
Then we can have 1 unit operating these 2 ballista,
All right. Hang on. I'm going to put a note that.
or
All right. Whoops, that was just an individual guy. The unit artwork is from Deo Mejesa, and it's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's coming in. So I need to make a note that this is 1/2.
Where?
And
can you give them different color rings? For a half or something?
I can't. I can change the color ring in the token maker, but I can't adjust it in this. So we'll go down here and we'll draw one half. Cool. All right, now
Okay.
where?
We've got these 3 ballistas, so I guess there's a half unit at each of those.
Okay, so we will add. Let me do it like this. Add monster. We'll put one there. We'll put one there. And we'll put one there. And we'll go back to our drawing. And we'll go 1 half. 1 half. And 1 half. Alrighty. Now what?
We've got the temple, so there's a half at the temple.
All right, let's get up there. Are you keeping track of all the halves?
Yeah. So we've got 1, 2. So we've got 3.5 used up. So we've got a free floating half.
Yep. And you've got you've got
5 others
one
total?
unit of actual warriors.
I think the 1 unit of actual warriors should be positioned at the mead hall. So they're central. So when the fighting starts, we know where to position them.
Yeah.
All right, mead hall.
And that uses what, 3 units left or 4 units left? And a half.
Monster.
1, did you say it was? So we have 8 total units with the grizzled
Yeah.
warriors and then the actual warriors.
Yep.
For a total of 10.
What was it?
Okay. So then we've used up those 2. We've got the 3.5, so at least 4.5 left. So if we place 1 more additional unit at the temple, 1
All right,
more
let's
at
see.
the storage.
Hold on. Let me zoom in on this. Let me get these guys at the mead hall. Let me show you all the units there for actual warriors. All right, and then you want 1 at the storage,
1 at the storage.
a full unit at the storage.
Yep. A full
Where
one at the
is-
temple.
All right, storage. All right. All right. Add monster. Free folk. These.
1 at the Jarl's Longhouse.
All right.
And 1 at the mead
Show.
hall.
1 at the Jarl's Longhouse. Add monster. Add monster.
And then our free floating half unit, we could also keep at the Jarl's Longhouse. Because if we lose any one of the ballistas, we have a half unit to fill in one of the other halves.
So you have there it is. And then what was the last place? I just put it the mead hall and the Jarl's Longhouse, and where was the
We got temple.
temple? Temple, you have a half a unit at the temple.
Yeah, we want a full one there too.
Oh, okay.
Because
A
the
full-
half unit's for the ballista.
Okay, so you also have a full unit. Okay. Add.
And the house Carls are working as runners and managing the flights.
All right. Excellent.
Yeah, sounds like we're ready for battle.
And where
Now,
are the
we
flags?
don't know who's with whose unit. We don't know that other than Brunhild. Detached from any of the units. 'Cause I'll
All
be
right.
out on the sea.
So where do people want to go? So Brunhild should be.
I'm at the land bridge
Yep.
with my grizzled warband,
I'll be with
All
the
right.
temple group.
but I'm ready to fall back.
All right. So Brunhild, you are there. And who's at the temple? Aster?
Yep.
All right. Aster at the temple. I got it's so tiny. We have close-ups. So Aster at the temple. Did I get Aster there?
Yeah, you got me.
All right, Astra at the temple. Now, who else goes where?
I moved myself to the Drakkar.
All right.
Where do you guys think I should go? I think I should fight the land invasion that I know is coming.
We've already got somebody.
Gertrude will
You should,
probably
you know,
go
you
over.
could man the tribute
I'll
group.
man the trebuchet.
If Maytok can't stand on top of the meat hall with the flaming, headdress, then he's got to man the trebuchet.
I got to man.
Right.
I just like saying it. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
Good word.
Tribute.
All right, you're gonna man the trebuchet.
Yep.
Maytok, let me get you there.
And I have an escape plan here. What is my escape plan?
Roll.
Yeah, you fire the trebuchet at any ships that come up out of the water.
Ooh, who's
Then-
manning the trebuchet with Maytok?
The half unit. There's a
The
half unit. on
the
trebuchet.
unit that's with him.
Oh, all right. I thought that was that. Okay, that's right here, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. And that's a
I think it's a
half
good
unit.
plan, guys. I like it. I think we've done a good job.
Yeah, we have.
I feel good.
No thanks to that coward Jarl.
Or his
All right.
sneaky wife.
Yeah.
The self-interested.
Much better plan than the traps I had going on.
All right, so so the town, you've spread out around the town. You have the flag system. Do you know how to communicate with each other with the flag?
I assume we figured a code out or something.
Well, we
Yeah.
have a flag for each unit,
Yeah.
and then when the flags are changing, there will be a horn sound out. When you hear the horn, you have whoever's leading the unit looks at the flag. If your flag is being waved, look for the instructions from the guy waving it, and they'll just point their arm. And so, if your flag's being waved, it's because you're being signaled to move.
So are we saying green means your location is safe? Yellow
No,
means
more like if there's 10 units, there's 10 flags.
okay.
Each
So
a,
we 10
each a
different,
different
flag
color
patterns.
pattern.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So it is kind of semaphore.
And then what we'll do is if your flag's to move, which means let's say you're on the trebuchet and your flag's being signaled to move, then you're gonna get rid of the bridge behind you on your way out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Cool.
So, guys, this is what the Free Folk levies look like.
But not
And
nothing.
we have some new properties for units. So you have what's called focused attack, which is that the unit deals double damage when it's attacking a single foe of medium or smaller. So if 10 people attack one person, it's doing double damage. If 10 people attack one giant, it's not.
Got it.
Also, you have unit vulnerability. The unit takes double damage from any effect that targets an area. So if you cast Fireball at a unit, it'll take double damage from the Fireball.
Cool.
Then, the unit can fit through any space that one component could get through. So the unit can pass through a doorway one at a time, And then the unit has resistance to damage, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing dealt by a medium or smaller unit. So if you run up with your sword and attack the unit, it has resistance to that. Do you follow?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then it can follow orders, any order you give it, as long as you're within 120 feet. And if you want to relay, then it can follow orders on the subsequent turn. If it's another 120 feet away. And there's some other rules we'll go over, but actually, let me show you some of the other units real quick. This is the Grizzled Warband. So they're considerably tougher, and they have the ability to form a shield wall. So as a reaction, they can form a shield wall and add 5 to their armor class.
Awesome.
Yep. And
Yeah, I
they
love it.
also.
Cool.
And then we have the Nornir Company. So
Nice.
they also can form a shield wall.
Nice.
Yep. And
I think while I just had an idea, while
Mhm.
everyone's like waiting in their positions for night to fall, we should, so they're not idle and getting nervous, we should have them paling water onto the decks to make it more resilient to fire.
Good
We may
idea.
not,
Good
fire
idea.
may not be an issue, but if they want to
Okay.
destroy town, fire is the way to do it. So
Yeah.
Okay.
let's soak everything we can.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
Maytalk
Now-
has to go.
Okay.
He's been invited to
To where? Maytalk is frozen.
a
Where are you going, May? Maytalk, go have fun. Congratulations on the sale. And we're gonna be done in just a second. But I want to just go over some things with everybody else. But Maytalk, congratulations again on that sale. Go have
Enjoy,
fun.
man.
Love you guys. Bye.
Yeah.
Take
Call me
care.
tomorrow. Call me tomorrow. So I wanna just go over one or two quick things. Actually, what I want to do is I want you guys to you ought to be able to add your units to your character sheets like adding a companion.
How do you do that?
Like you add a companion. So
How do you add a
Creature
companion?
companions.
I
Add.
will.
There's at the bottom there should be creature companions and add.
Mm-hmm. So Brunhild, you'd add Grizzled Warband and
Okay.
free folk levies.
Grizzled Warband. Nice.
Mhm.
Comes right up.
Yep.
I've just got free folk levies, right?
Yep. And these things function very similar to swarms because the idea behind this is not to make players learn a brand new system. So there's swarms with a couple extra abilities depending on the unit, and that means that when they get down to half hit points, they deal less damage. But also, you have something called morale, and the morale is everywhere from piss poor to excellent. Those are not the terms. And if the unit drops to half its number, then it has to make a morale check. So if you engage a half a unit in battle, it may have to make a morale check. If the leader of a unit gets killed, it makes a morale check. If it's outnumbered 4-1, it makes a morale check. If it's attacked by something that flies and it has no flight on its side, it makes a morale check. And when a unit makes a morale check and fails, the unit's broken. And you can try and make a speech, persuasion or intimidation to put it back together. And if you can't reform that unit. And the other thing is that in battle they operate on your initiative. But so whatever your initiative is, your units go on your turn. And there are more rules that will come into play when I put out the Battlegraph book, but won't come into play here. And then well, that's it. And we're not going to play with these rules, but in the extended rules, if you embed yourself in your unit, you don't act independently, but you have you're shielded from outside attacks, and you can add your proficiency bonus to the unit's attack. But we're not going to use that rule. You're just telling your units what to do, and they'll move on your turn. So how's that sound?
Yeah.
Sweet.
Excellent.
Good.
Sounds good.
So night is beginning to fall, and we will not play next week, but we will play the week after. And when we do, we will play the battle.
That sounds like a
Right.
plan.
Big time
you.
battle times.
Fun
All
time.
right.
So just so we're clear, I want that Drakkar positioned between sunken ship
Mm-hmm.
that I swam down to
Okay.
and the town.
And we have close-in battle maps for most of these locations, courtesy of Heroic Maps. So I will, before the next game, I will put everybody's individual token and their units on their individual battle maps.
That's
So
cool.
we'll be able to hop in and we'll be able to zoom in on dedicated maps for each of these locations and run the
Nice.
specific battles as we do. It's going to be
Cool.
cool. It's probably going to be a lot of work for the GM, but maybe not too much. I've done everything I can to make this go as smoothly and easily, and I think it'll come off great. But in 2 weeks, we'll find out. So thank you, everybody. Thank you, everybody, for watching. We're still on Kickstarter. We're funded and about $1,000 past our funding. Don't know if we'll hit a stretch goal or not, but jump in and help us. And thank you for watching. Good night, everyone.
Thanks
Good night.
all.